and welcome to Encounters of the Strange Kind, brought to you by King's Cannabiz and KBLP LLC. And tonight we're going to be discussing the Bermuda Triangles of the world. So don't go away, we'll be right back.
In a town in the woods at the top of a hill, there's a house where no one lives. So you take a big bag of your big city money there and buy it. But at night when the house is dark and you're all alone, there's a noise upstairs. At the top of the stairs there's a door and you take a deep breath and try it. And the flashlight shows you something moving just inside the door. There's a tattered dress and a feeling you have felt somewhere before. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye, it's always open. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a pretty mouth to swallow you whole. So you scream and you close the door and you tell yourself it was just a dream. In the morning you head into town cause you wanna go antiquing. In the store there's a strange old man with a wandering eye and a withered hand. When he hands you the old wooden box you can hear his old bones creaking. And you know what you will find inside the moment that you see that someone's carved your name into the tarnished silver key. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye, it's always open. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a pretty mouth to swallow you whole. When you come home late, the doll is waiting up for you. When you fix a snack, the doll says it would like one too. The doll is in your house and in your room and in your bed. The doll is in your eyes and in your arms and in your head. And you are crazy. Now it's late and you head downstairs cause you just can't sleep, so you make some tea. And the doll disapprovingly asks if you really need that much honey. You decide that you've had enough and you lock the doll in the wooden box. You put the box in the fireplace next to your bag of big city money. As the smoke fills up your tiny room, there's nothing you can do. Far too late, you see the one inside the box is you. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye, it's always open. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a pretty mouth to swallow you
Okay, let's get started. We're going to start off with the Bermuda Triangle. By the way, got the hiccup, excuse me. What do you guys think about the Area 51 stampede, so to speak? Let me know what you think. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to talk about the Bermuda Triangle. Oh, God, this is not good. Okay. Because that's the best known one as of right now. We're going to talk about different ones around the world, but the Bermuda Triangle is a strange triangular area, on the Atlantic Ocean where many ships sailing through it or planes flying over it have apparently disappeared without a trace. However, there is very few such cases where wrecks could be found, but no crew and nothing else. And such incidents have been happening for centuries. More than 1,000 ships and planes have disappeared in the Triangle area over the past 5 centuries. And such mysterious incidents on the Atlantic continue to take place, even present day. So are we getting excited? Yeah. many stories and myths. The facts are quite far from what is generally known or believed to be true. We're going to do myths and facts here. Many stories and myths have been created through sheer imagination, which they use rampantly to draw publicity to their theories, controversies, and counter-arguments have come up over the years challenging the mysteries that created a fierce psychosis among people. Yeah, okay. Anyway, is it all true, partially true, or all of it nonsense? Let's dig a little deeper to understand. Keep in mind that far too many incidents have taken place for it to be ignored. And we all know about the boats have just wiped off the map. No wreckage, no bodies, nothing, not even an oil spill from any planes or ships. So you tell me, how could there not be anything found? Do you believe that possibly these could be interdimensional portals? Are they somewhere else? Let me know what you think about that. Supposedly, allegedly, this was all started by authors who were novel writers, and the mystery was initially perpetuated by them. Now, this is this is not me talking. I'm reading what other people are saying, but don't jump into a conclusion yet. We all know that novel writers are good in wild imaginations, but these writers were actually popular and well respected. The abnormalities on the sea was first noted in 1950 by Edward Jones in the daily newspaper Miami Herald, published in Florida. However, the mystery started catching wide-scale attention in 1952 when George Sand wrote in Fate magazine about instances like Flight 19, a training flight of 5 torpedo bomber planes, all of which went missing during a routine training session in 1945 and never returned. That's that's the first incident I remember reading about. And excuse me. And subsequently, several other authors wrote about various other mysterious incidents in the Triangle area. While some of such reports were without much substance, of course, there's always that, several incidents had actually occurred and they remain unexplained. The words around the mystery started spreading fast, and soon Bermuda Triangle was a reality for millions of the minds all over the world. Where is the Bermuda Triangle? It's located off the southeastern coast of the U.S. and forms a triangular zone in the Atlantic Ocean. The 3 corners of the triangle are Miami, San Juan in Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, a North Atlantic island. The American author Vincent Gaddis was the first to define this boundary in 1964 in an issue of the magazine called Argosy, and they called it the Deadly Bermuda Triangle. However, over the years, several other authors kept extending the area beyond its original boundary because they seemed to identify mysterious incidents in nearby areas as well. Some of the disappearances, there's amazing stories of planes and ships that disappeared or met ill fate while crossing the Triangle area. There's many links to this. You guys can check it out. In most cases, there's been some possible causes. And there's also excerpts from official reports that were produced by the U.S. Navy, Air Force, or U.S. Coast Guards after completing the search operations. And there's some updates on some further findings. Of course, Flight 19, and these are the Avenger planes of Flight 19, took off from U.S. Naval Base of Florida for routine training on the afternoon of December 1945. But they never returned. You can read the full story of Flight 19. You can look it up. And when all hopes for the above Flight 19 planes were quickly fading, 2 Martin Mariner planes, their flying boats, were sent by the U.S. Navy to search them out. After extensive search, one of them returned but the other didn't and disappeared forever. So there was a boat that went out to search, 2 boats, and only one came back. Tudor Star Tiger. It's an aircraft that disappeared from radar while flying over the Bermuda Triangle and shortly before it was about to land at the Bermuda airport. Flight DC-3. The aircraft disappeared when it was only 50 miles south of Florida, about to land in Miami. The Tudor Tiger, it was set to land at 5 a.m. in Bermuda. In just 1.5 hour time, the 25 passengers on board would see the marine lights of Bermuda. 5 a.m. had come and gone. The plane was never seen or heard from again. So, there is that, okay? Never to be seen or heard from again. The DC-3, Flight 441, a Super Constellation naval airliner, disappeared in October 1954. There's hundreds of these. Flight 441 was a huge carrier that belonged to the U.S. Navy. The aircraft was one of the greatest successes of its time. It was said that it could cross the Atlantic in 8.5 hours. On October 30th, 1954, 441 took off from the Naval Air Station bound for Azores. There were 42 passengers. All of them were naval officers and their families who were transported overseas. Like in many of the Bermuda Triangle incidences, there were regular communications received, and suddenly it was silent. The last transmission was received around 11:30 p.m., which was a regular report informing its location. The aircraft was about 400 miles off the coast, and it simply vanished. The disappearance of Flight 441 remains as one of the biggest mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Not a single clue to date has been gathered to throw any light on the cause. It was thoroughly investigated by the board, which focused on the plane itself, the weather, and the pilot's capability. Nothing was found. Nothing. The C-54 Skymaster. Apparently, there seemed to be a sudden thunderstorm that had disintegrated the plane. But there's much more to the story of Skymaster, the C-54 Skymaster. Yes, it's true, the C-54 took off from Bermuda on July 3rd, 1947. It did meet with a huge, massive thunderstorm, and that would have surely caused a disintegration of the aircraft as reported. But the real question is, why did the C-54 get in the eye of the storm when it could have avoided it easily? So, the report from the investigation board shows that the squall was actually not at all in the originally scheduled route of the flight. Right from the start, the flight started going off course, and neither the pilot nor the navigator were aware of this. After it took off from Bermuda, it was far south of its scheduled course, and it suddenly made a course change and moved towards north and then southwest. As a result, it was heading straight towards the eye of the storm. It continued to fly in the same direction for a fairly long time, till the radio operator heard a garbled SOS. The sound was so low that he ignored that to be a real SOS. It was heard once again, and all was silent. They went on to investigate why such odd change of course was done. They checked credentials and everything. It's still unexplained how both of them could have made a blatant mistake and forgot all about the oncoming squall. I doubt that. Only a month before that, a general instruction was given to all pilots to avoid thunderstorms, and yet this one flew the plane right into it, about 209 miles northeast of Florida. And the only thing they found was an oxygen bottle and a few items of equipment. That was all that was found. Nothing else. Crazy. The Mary Celeste, of course, the ghost ship, and I've talked about her before. It's one of the ghost ships of the Bermuda Triangle. It had many misadventures, even before her mystery voyage in 1872. But this time, although the ship could be salvaged, None on board could ever be traced. Ever, ever. The Carol A. Deering, another ghost ship of the Bermuda Triangle, created one of the biggest maritime mysteries of all time. While returning from Rio de Janeiro of Brazil to Portland in Maine in January 1921, found abandoned and derelict at Diamond Shoals off Cape Hatteras in North Carolina. All 11 crewmen, including the captain, vanished forever and never to be found again. The Marine Sulfur Queen. It's a 524-foot carrier, molten sulfur. Started sailing February 1963 from Beaumont, Texas, with 39 crew. Lost in the Bermuda Triangle on February 4th, forever. Now, in these incidents where they say lost forever, there is no debris. There are no bodies. There is nothing. Nothing, not a trace, not a boo, nothing. Not a hum. The Ellen Austin, it's an American schooner. It was moving in full speed. It met with another ship in the Bermuda Triangle. Upon encountering this ship, it was moving full speed. There was no one on board. USS Cyclops, it's a carrier ship in the Bermuda Triangle, disappeared. One of the greatest mysteries of the sea. It was scheduled to reach Baltimore on March 13th. Totally disappeared. And a lot, these are just some few cases of the disappearances. There are many, many, many more. Now, what some scientists are saying, which is bull crap, I'm sorry, but it's crap. It's a magnetic field, and it interferes. Where's the wreckage? Where are the bodies? Eventually, they're going to wash up somewhere, okay? I think it's a bit ridiculous to even, have that supposition. Of course, they're entitled to their opinion, but I think it's crap. There is not a trace of any of these vessels and planes, nothing. There's no people. If you notice, even though they find in one incident, an oxygen bottle and a few items of equipment, the people are gone. They're gone forever. They're somewhere. I think what happens is, it's a magnetic field, but I think it's a magnetic field because it's a portal, an interdimensional portal. They hit it at a certain time or whatever the case may be, and they're gone. We don't know where, how, or why, but they are gone. And what they're also saying is methane gas. Okay. They're saying gas trapped under the seafloor can erupt and as a result can lower the water density and cause ships to sink like a rock. But they've never found any wreckage. Nothing. And things, life rafts and things would float to the top. Nothing. And they're saying even planes flying over it can catch fire and get completely destroyed. But there's going to be something out there. Something floating, something, anything. Electronic fog. Okay. A strange thick cloud appears from nowhere and engulfs a ship or a plane. Instruments begin to malfunction. Finally, the ship or aircraft vanishes without a trace. I don't know about that. How can electronic fog do this? I don't know. Some are saying, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, gosh, I'll get it. Anyway, what about this electronic fog? It's something similar to what the Canadian scientist John Hutchinson can demonstrate in his own lab. It's a grayish cloud of electromagnetic fields that get formed above the ocean. They seem to appear from nowhere and completely engulf a ship or aircraft. Okay. The fog keeps moving along with the ship or the plane. All of a sudden, electronic systems and instruments start malfunctioning. Disorientation and time distortion starts. And finally, the ship or aircraft can disintegrate or disappear without a trace. How can that be? To me, that says the electromagnetic fields, in the fog, it's a portal. That's what I believe. I don't know what y'all believe. Oh, here we go with the cloud and air bombs now. Hexagonal cloud and air bombs. Meteorologists have recently discovered strange hexagonal clouds that are capable of blasting winds to the ocean below at huge speeds. Planes and ships under such clouds can sink in no time. But they're not sinking. This is, they keep bringing this stuff up. That, okay, it could disintegrate a plane. It could, destroy a ship. Where's the wreckage? Where are the bodies? Where are these people? Where are these? Where are they? So, in the early 50s, a magazine coined the phrase Bermuda Triangle. The mystery, of course, has continued to attract attention. When repeated mysterious incidents of such large scale take place in the same area, it's understandable it would spread like fire, draw large interest among people, including researchers, scientists, and critics, and of course, the general mass, and eventually take a mammoth shape over time. The Bermuda Triangle has become a living legend. But what is real and what is true, we may never know. And the fact is, most of these reports, there have been hundreds of incidents, okay? Of course we know this. In few cases, yeah, they found some, few items, oil leakage, or wrecks. But most of them, there were no trace of anything. Nothing. And that is fact. So what do y'all think of that? That's crazy. It's so crazy. But, there's underwater reefs and all that stuff. Yes, but you're going to have wreckage. And there is no wreckage. They have looked, to see if there's wreckage where they supposedly disappeared. There's nothing sunk. There's nothing there. So that would disprove that as far as I think. So that is the, mysterious Bermuda Triangle. I think it's totally crazy, but like I said, I believe a lot of these triangles are interdimension portals. What else could explain? Nothing to be found, not a trace. We're going to go to Greenland. Their Bermuda Triangle. Excuse me. There was a World War II plane found here. Oh, and another, while I'm thinking about it, that's what I was going to say. They're saying that the Bermuda Triangle, it could be because of rogue waves. Seriously, where's the wreckage? Where's the bodies? Again, there is nothing. You're going to sink it. Things are going to float. I don't care. But they're going to find something, and there has been nothing. Rogue waves? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You can believe what you want, but, yep. Okay. The Greenland Lost Squadron World War II warplane was found beneath a Greenland glacier, so they did find that. It was a P-38 Lightning fighter aircraft buried deep within a glacier more than 70 years after a lost squadron of U.S. warplanes crash-landed on the ice there. Well, yeah, they crash-landed there. So, it says it crashed there. So, but they did find that, which is kind of cool, I thought. Kind of crazy. I don't know. Hey, D. It's an alien conspiracy. I look at her stuff and think, wow, antiques. Yeah, probably. What is that? They probably think we're totally so backwards. It's pathetic. It's hard telling. But I really think they are portals to somewhere else. That's the what I'm looking for. Hang on here. Okay. Glad you're here, D. Yeah, it's an alien conspiracy. No, they just okay, yeah, rogue waves. Of course, the Lost Squadron found in Greenland's Bermuda Triangle. Okay. They also found a mysterious impact crater in Greenland. Oh, gosh darn it. I hate this. Sometimes I can't find what I want. So what do you all think is going on out there? Could it be aliens? What do you think? I think that there's other dimensions. I really do. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Are they parallel? They would be naturally occurring like wormholes. Could well be. Sure. D. Denton says, if it were portals, would they be naturally occurring like wormholes or artificially generated, which would suggest a high level of technology? That is possible. But is it a parallel universe? Is it a different dimension totally? We don't know. I do believe it's caused, there's electromagnetic fields, which I think in the fog, electronic fog is what they're saying, could create a portal. I think they're out there. I don't think they're very controllable because I think they would be picking and choosing, what to take. And it's just, there's hundreds of them that have disappeared. So I don't know. Or could be a high level of technology we don't know about. Very, very possible. Very possible. Very possible. Like I said, a portal to another universe. They're talking about a Bermuda Triangle of space. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Let's go to the Devil's Sea. The dragons. We'll get back to Greenland. We're going to go to the Devil's Sea of Dragon's Triangle. It's located in the middle of Taiwan, Miyagi-jima, and Iwo-jima. It's called they're called vile vortices also. This is called a vile vortex. There are 12 of them. So we're going to kind of go through them. It's claimed the lives of sailors and pilots since 1000 BC. And a quote by William Shakespeare, of course, hell is empty and all the devils are here. Tales about the murky seas between Taiwan, Miyagi-jima, and Iwo-jima have been around since 1000 BC. Legend has it the great warrior Kublai Khan lost many men and ships when he tried to invade Japan in the 1200s. What exactly is causing this patch of water to be so precarious, like the Bermuda Triangle? Author Charles Berlitz wrote a terrific book about the Bermuda Triangle that you can get and read. He also wrote The Dragon's Triangle in 1989. So get that book, look it up. He detailed various incidents such as Japan losing military ships between 1952 and 54, taking almost 700 men with it. 1953, the Maru number 5 went on a mission to investigate the strange phenomena in the sea. The Maru, yes, I know this one. The boat and its crew disappeared without a trace. Nothing. They went up, done, they're gone. And the Japanese government declared the area to be a hazard. One of the main theories behind the vanishings, here you go, D, is UFOs. A hotbed of activity. Paranoia magazine recounts the odyssey of the vessel, the Joyita. In 1955, it went off the grid, never to be seen again. However, 4 years later, here you go, a wine bottle with a message in it washed up near Australia. The message was from the Joyita steward, and it said, abandoning ship, strange circular metallic object, forcing us aboard. Help us. And this is not an isolated incident. There's the famous Ghost of Nancy Shoto event, which occurred during World War II. 200 to 300 UFOs were spotted on radar, flying at speed of 700 miles per hour, which was faster than any aircraft. Yeah, the Greys were involved. Which was faster than any aircraft at the time. However, the mysterious crafts were not visible to the naked eye. Okay? Yeah, yep, you called that one. This one, maybe. And they're saying the Pacific Rim is also known for its volatile volcanic activity. The Devil's Sea happens to fall into the dynamic zone. And it's theorized that the Maru actually met its fate when an eruption occurred. Where's the wreckage? Again, I keep saying, where is any proof that anything happened to these ships? Where's the proof that it erupted and there's going to be some kind of wreckage? I don't care. A plank, something. It's again, they're comparing it to the methane bubble concept for Bermuda. The thought that a seismic flare-up could cause a ship to be pulled under isn't illogical, but you're going to have a sunken ship. There is nothing there. I mean, that these certain planes and ships, they're not at the bottom of the ocean there. They're not there, okay? And they're called these are called biovortices. Like I said, there are 12 of them. Ivan T. Sanderson is the man that perpetuated this idea during the 60s and 70s. He believed there were lines in power that converged at 12 portals located throughout the world. These biovortices could function as wormholes, could transport objects and people into other dimensions. Sanderson, you're my hero. The Bermuda Triangle and the Devil's Sea are located along the same lines. There are more affected areas in the Mediterranean off the east coast of South America. All these destinations are equally treacherous to mariners and pilots. It's also thought that these anomalies are not random and they have been created by intelligent design. Here you go. Both of them are possible, D. If that is the case, for what purpose? We don't know, right? Of course, the electromagnetic anomalies could account for the numerous disappearances. Yes, because their instruments go totally wacko. They just spin. They have no idea where they're at. And boom, they're gone. So yeah, that is electromagnetic field. Yes, that is part of the portal going on here. And the Devil's Sea may very well remain a mystery. Quite possible, just like the Bermuda Triangle. Lake Michigan actually has a triangle. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Excuse me. At least the hiccups are gone. So let's see what we can talk about with the Lake Michigan Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle of the Great Lakes. So both your questions are they like wormholes or artificially generated? Either one fits at this point. We just don't know. Isn't that crazy? The Lake Michigan Triangle. Of course, you've heard. Of course, we talked about the Bermuda one, but the Great Lakes has its own mysterious triangle. It's sometimes referred to as the Michigan Triangle. It spans from Manitowoc, Wisconsin to Ludington, Michigan, and south to Benton Harbor. Again, a triangle. It has accounted for numerous mysterious events, beginning in 1891 when a schooner named the Thomas Hume set off across Lake Michigan for lumber. The Hume disappeared along with its crew of 7 sailors. Not even a trace of the boat was ever found. Here are some of the notable cases of the Michigan Triangle. The Rosabelle ship. In 1921, 11 people inside the Rosabelle ship disappeared, and their ship was found overturned in Lake Michigan. The ship had been damaged in a collision, but no other ship was reported in the area, and no other wreck was ever found. The disappearance of Captain Donner. The bizarre case of Captain George R. Donner is one of the more mysterious triangle cases. April 28, 1937, Captain Donner vanished from his cabin after guiding his ship through icy waters. The captain went to his cabin to rest. 3 hours later, a crew member went to alert him they were nearing the port. The door was locked from the inside. The mate broke into the cabin, only to find it empty. A search was ensued. No trace of him was ever found, and his disappearance remains unsolved. The disappearance of Northwest Flight 2501. This is one of the most mysterious cases that happened in 1950 when Northwest Airlines Flight 2501, which was carrying 58 people, crashed into Lake Michigan. The plane was never found. Nothing. No trace of anything. It was the deadliest commercial airline accident in American history. Nothing was ever found. The pilot had requested to descend to 2500 because of a severe electrical storm, which was lashing the lake with high-velocity winds, and the plane disappeared from radar. Excuse me. To this day, no plane wreckage has been found, and the cause of the crash remains unknown. How do they know it crashed then? Listen to this. About 2 hours after the last communication with Flight 2501, 2 police officers reported seeing a strange red light hovering over Lake Michigan and disappearing after 10 minutes. Was a UFO to blame? They searched for it again in 1950. Nothing found. North America's Stonehenge found in Lake Michigan. A popular theory blames the triangle mystery on an ancient underwater rock formation discovered in 2007. The 40-foot ring of rocks resting underneath Lake Michigan has a very similar alignment to that of Stonehenge. In 2007, Mark Hawley, professor of underwater archaeology, discovered a series of stones arranged in a circle 40 feet below the surface of Lake Michigan. One stone outside the circle seems to have carvings that resemble a mastodon that went extinct about 10,000 years ago. When you see it in the water, you're tempted to say, this is absolutely real. Hawley told reporters, but that's what we need the experts to come in and verify. And many other reports of strange occurrences occurred in the Triangle area, including UFO sightings. Some have even claimed the Triangle was a time portal and that it could bend time, calling the cause a metaphysical force with a supernatural vortex of energy. Well, yeah. And some blame disappearance on extreme weather, including strong squalls and high winds. But you're going to find something. Again, back that up with something. What did you find? Nothing. Squalls and high winds, you're going to find some kind of wreckage. Seriously. So that's the Lake Michigan Triangle. There's one also in Nevada. Crazy but true. But what drives me crazy is that they, it could be rogue waves, it could be high winds, it could be storms. But where's the proof that, that it caused anything? There's nothing. The Nevada Triangle, a trap in the mountains is what they're saying. Though most of us, we've heard, of course, all the triangles where planes and ships have mysteriously gone missing for decades. Not all are aware there is a similar place in Nevada, lying in the region of the Sierra Nevada mountains in Nevada and California. Some 2,000 planes have been lost in the last 60 years. In this remotely populated area, more than 25,000 miles of mountain desert, the crash sites are never found. Ever. Nothing. The triangle is typically defined as spanning from Las Vegas, Nevada in the southeast to Fresno, California in the west, and Torino, Nevada at the top. Within this rugged wilderness is a mysterious top-secret Area 51. Oh, yeah. Of course, dozens of conspiracy theories, which include UFOs and paranormal activity that surrounds the Air Force Base. Similar theories have been long considered regarding the Nevada Triangle. Throughout these many years, many of the missing planes were flown by experienced pilots and disappeared under mysterious circumstances, with the wreckage or bodies never found. One such plane, with that of a record-setting aviator, sailor, and adventurer named Steve Fawcett, that should ring a bell, on September 3rd, 2007. Fawcett, flying a single-engine Bellanca Super Decathlon over Nevada's Great Basin Desert, took off and never returned. After hunting for a month for the plane, the search was called off. February 15th, 2008, Fawcett was declared dead. On September 29th, Fawcett's ID cards were discovered in Sierra Nevada mountains by a hiker. Eventually, they did find the plane wreckage about 65 miles from where he initially took off. One of the earliest planes lost in the Triangle includes a story dating back 70 years. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Dee said maybe Back to the Future isn't fiction after all. Maybe not. That's possible. Okay. One of the earliest stories dating back when a B-24 bomber crashed in the Sierra Nevada mountains in 1943. The bomber, taking flight on December 5th, had second lieutenant and 2 second lieutenants and 4 other crew members and a navigator. The flight was a routine night training mission, taking off from Fresno, California's Hammer Field, destined to Bakersfield, to Tucson and return. An extensive search mission began the very next day when 9 B-24 bombers were sent out to find the missing plane. However, rather than finding it, another bomber disappeared. On the morning of December 6, 1943, Squadron Commander Darden lifted off along with 8 other B-24s. Captain Darden, his airplane, and remaining crew would not be seen again until 1955 when Huntington Lake Reservoir was drained. The investigation into the loss of the second bomber stated that Darden had experienced high wind turbulence and began to lose pressure. In the meantime, Clinton Hester, the father of the co-pilot Robert Hester in the first missing plane, began a private search for his son that would last for 14 years. When he died in 1959, he still not had found his son or any evidence of the missing plane. Army investigators revealed the wreckage to be that of first missing bomber. I don't know. Another military plane went missing May 1957. A T-33 training jet. They took off from Hamilton Air Force Base near San Francisco on a flight to Arizona. The plane disappeared. However, now listen to this. They declared the 23-year-old pilot officially dead. However, this is bizarre. 54 days later, the pilot reappeared, gaunt and dressed in filthy clothing. Doesn't know where he was. Okay. Supposedly something happened with the plane. He briefly blacked out, but came to in time to eject, badly injuring both ankles when he supposedly landed. I don't know. There was no, the plane could not be found. There's a lot of discrepancies supposedly in his story. Could it be a mind-altering thing? We talked about this last Saturday on Ecto Encounters. If we remember, the different memory type thing, the Mandela effect. Could he have his memory altered? The plane wreckage was never found, supposedly where he said it was. Don't know. So what's exactly causing aircraft to go missing within the Nevada Triangle? Of course, conspiracy theorists have long claimed the reason so many flights have disappeared is, of course, connected to Area 51. But many experts mind you, how can you be an expert on this if you don't even know what's going on? Can be attributed to the area's geography and atmospheric conditions. Here we go. The Sierra Nevada mountains run perpendicular to the jet stream, which conspire with the sheer high altitude peaks and wedge-shaped range to create volatile, unpredictable winds and downdrafts. But aren't these pilots aware of this? I mean, come on. They know this. This is where the bases are. The weather phenomena is sometimes called a mountain wave, where planes are seemingly ripped from the air and crash to the ground. Well, yeah, you're going to find aircraft and bodies and stuff. I don't know. Of course, other theories include pilot error. Yeah, these aren't rookies flying these planes. Inexperienced pilots getting caught in turbulence. Yeah, no, I don't think so. So Nevada Triangle, which is the Nevada Sierra Mountains. Crazy, huh? I love how they come up with these things. Prove it. You can't, just as we can't prove that it is a portal. But if there's no wreckage, no bodies, no nothing, I don't know. How about the Bridgewater Triangle? Well, let's go through the 12 vortices. And that'll give us the 12. And a biovortex is any of 12 particular geographic areas arranged in a pattern around the Earth. Of course, the term was coined by Ivan T. Sanderson, who cataloged them as the sites of unexplained disappearances and other mysterious phenomena. The mystery of the biovortices. Biovortices are areas on the Earth's surface which have naturally occurring anomalies due to electromagnetic fields being stronger in these parts than anywhere else in the world. The viral vortices are supposed to be spread equally in 12 parts across the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and include the North and South Pole. Each vortex is spread equally across the world's surface. The entire collection of these viral vortices forms a geometric figure known as, I'm going to butcher this. It's a geometric figure which is a polyhedron comprising of 20 plane faces, plane faces. The main reason each vortex of these 12 vortices is called viral because they cause events which hamper the routine course and thereby forcing the affected party to check out alternative measures. Crazy. The most famous of the 12, of course, is the Bermuda Triangle. Another well-known vortex, which is equally viral, is the South Atlantic Anomaly, which occurs near the coast of Brazil in South America. It is very important to note the viral vortices occurrence because each vortex of these 12 causes problems in the course of physics and astrophysics aspect. Not every vortex is as viral as the Bermuda Triangle. The loss incurred due to their national interference is nonetheless huge, not to mention vile, too, in nature's own way. So you have the Tropic of Cancer, you have the Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Sea, of course, the megalithic ruins of Algeria, Hamakulia, Hawaii, at Mohenjo-Daro, Tropic of Capricorn, the South Atlantic Anomaly, the megaliths of Zimbabwe, Wharton Basin, the Hebrides Trench, Fiji Islands, and the Easter Islands. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's weird how they're equally apart. So, what are some creepy facts you should know? Of course, the Bermuda Triangle, which we discussed. Scientists, of course, are still not exactly sure how they work. No kidding. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, no kidding. They don't know how they work. Yeah, obviously. Or why they happen. What we do know is they are areas in which strange, possibly even paranormal phenomena, disappearance, and disturbing tales are commonly take place. Of course, the Bermuda Triangle is the best known, and there have been stories of glowing water. Of course, where's that described at? What are they holding back again? Glowing water, spinning compasses, and possible alien abductions for hundreds of years. The other areas may not be as popular, but they have similar stories. If you're itching to learn more, you're in luck, but be ready for spooky stories, unanswered questions, and age-old mysteries that have no known explanation yet. Excuse me. Of course, Ivan T. Sanderson, he was a biologist, a writer, animal enthusiast, and a huge fan of all things paranormal. He would go on expeditions, record what he saw and experienced in drawings, reports, and even photography. In travels and studies during the early 70s, he began to notice there were specific regions where things seemed to go strange, where planes and people seemed to disappear, and where UFO sightings seemed to take place. He mapped these 12 paranormally active areas, and he called them the viral vortices, which we just went through. And they are equally divided, which is, how odd is that? What are the chances of that, actually? They're also evenly spread out distance-wise. So it kind of proves there's something logical and mathematical to the chaos. Yeah. Of course, there's electromagnetic fields. Of course, we've talked about this. Sanderson and other paranormal theorists have few ideas on what exactly caused all these places to be in order. One idea involved ley lines, L-E-Y, ley lines, or the idea that important places and man-made objects line up because of spiritual energy or earthly feng shui. Other theories have more to do with subtle matter energy or electromagnetic aberration, of course. But when you get right down to it, we don't fully know why these locations appear to line up so well, or what causes them to be hotbeds of paranormal activity. Okay. Of course, the Bermuda Triangle has a long and sordid history, as well as a few celebrity guest appearances. Whole fleets of torpedo bombers, spy planes, Navy ships, the infamous, of course, Mary Celeste, have all come to mysterious calamity in the area of ocean near the tip of Florida. Even those who have not been lost have reported glowing water, spinning compasses, random malfunctions, and strange sightings while passing through it. In short, something weird is going on down there. Yes. Even if you account some of it to the Gulf Stream and other natural phenomena. The other thing we know for certain is that people are dying. In the last 100 years, thousands of people have lost their lives to the Bermuda Triangle. Whether or not you believe something paranormal is happening, those are some pretty scary numbers. Ancient ruins may hold a lot of mystery, but these particular ruins hold a little something extra. If you were to go to Timbuktu and then travel north, you might come across an ancient burial ground at Mazala Salust, where there are cave paintings and great monoliths to mark the area. While archaeologically they're quite impressive, there's an aura hanging over the place. Many planes disappear while flying over the Sahara Desert, and some people believe this vortex to be the cause. It's the megaliths. Okay, they're called the megaliths in the Sahara Desert. Is it a curse from the spirits? Something to do with the underground flying fault? We may never know. The origin city of Hinduism may house violent gods. West of the Indus River in the Indus Valley, there are remains of a large and ornate city called the Mohenjo-Daro, which means Mound of Krishna. It is said it was from the great and ancient city that the birth of the Hindu religion first arose. While this all seems quite lovely and peaceful, it doesn't stop there. After its discovery in the 1920s, excavation began. Archaeologists came across the scattered corpses of at least 40 people. Considering that the god Shiva is pictured a lot in this city, and Shiva is a god of destruction, many believe that the city has some dark power to it. This place fits into the Bio Vortice's map. Could it be this dark power is what made the civilization of the Indus Valley mysteriously disappear? Okay, I don't know. Hawaii's volcano could be doing more than just spitting fire. To be clear, this particular vortex is said to be off the coast of Hawaii and is the site of ship and plane disappearances. However, the source of its power is often said to be the volcano at Hamakulia. What's more, the locals as well as scientists who have watched the volcano tell stories that may lend some credence to that. Locals say that strange lights can be sometimes seen around the volcano and have for a very long time. This volcano is also particularly active because it is right along the ring of fire. The magnetization of rocks and strange electrical energy could be flowing throughout the region, which could account for planes and ships disappearing. I don't know. Okay, the Devil's Sea, and the government, called it a hazard area. So, and then we have, excuse me. What do you think about all this, about how they are all equally the distance? That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. And these horrifyingly deep holes might just be the portal to hell. There is something menacing about the darkest depths of Earth. Just below the crust is a world of total blackness that stretches for thousands of miles. No, that's not what I want. Went to the wrong thing. Sorry. What do you guys think about all this? The strange lights, the glowing water. What do you think is going on here? What do you think? Is it? What do you think? Could they be portals, interdimensional aliens? Are they causing this, or is there something more going on? The South Atlantic anomaly is a Bermuda Triangle of space. This vortex is particularly interesting because the area itself has been extensively studied by NASA, supposedly. Okay. The Earth is surrounded by an inner and outer radiation belt. Okay. In the South Atlantic, the inner radiation belt comes closer to the Earth's surface than anywhere else, creating an area where the Earth's magnetic field is weaker. There's a flux of energy particles. Satellites who go through this belt often experience malfunctions and glitches, and astronauts see strange shooting star-like lights, which also causes serious problems for aircrafts. Planes disappear mysteriously in the area, which probably has something to do with, of course, their navigation electronic malfunctions. Okay, the Wharton Basin may still hold the remains of Flight MH370. Near the northeast corner of the Indian Ocean lurks the Wharton Basin. Along the floor of the ocean, too many explain. Yes, exactly, that's what I say. Where is the proof? Along the floor of the ocean, there are many deep fractures and different plates meet. Because of that, the area sees quite a bit of seismic activity, which, of course, has been studied extensively. However, researchers don't have a map of this area of the ocean floor, and they have not tried to make one since the 60s. The area has come to recent fame as a possible resting place of Flight MH370, which vanished in 2014. 2014, mind you. There's no trace of the Malaysian... Oh, yes, I remember this. There is no trace of the Malaysian aircraft. The search continues. There is no wreckage found, no bodies. It's not the first time planes and ships have been lost in this vortex, and it won't be the last. I remember that. They never did find that. Do you remember that? That was all over the news. Okay, here's another one. The Eastern Island Heads may have more to tell us. You've no doubt heard of the Easter Island Heads and the mystery surrounding them, and the civilization that built them. And these massive stone statues were built and moved by mysterious means, and the civilization that built them vanished. Some people believe that the stones were moved by aliens, of course, just like the pyramids. And it would fit nice. It would tie in nicely with Ivan Sanderson's belief UFOs may have something to do with the vile vortices. A party destination with dark secrets. Here you go. East of Rio de Janeiro is a beautiful ocean and many luxurious beaches. As you can imagine, a lot of tourists in large numbers. But what most of them don't know is they're tanning right alongside a vile vortex. There you go, vile vortex. It is proven to be one of the tamer vortices of the bunch, though the area has its fair share of mysteries. Perhaps the most high-profile incident was the disappearance of the Tuante II, a small boat that vanished without a trace in 2014, with the families of those missing raising complaints that authorities seem to have no interest in finding the ship because it's gone. It disappeared. Now, isn't that odd that two incidences happened in two different vortexes in the same year? Interesting. What do you think about that? There's a reason for this? Two different vortexes and two disappearances. Okay, the Loyalty Islands have no loyalty to reason. The Loyalty Islands reside off the east coast of Australia above New Zealand by a ways. Sailors have long reported strange and violently changing currents in the area, as well as strange whirlpools and vortices of water. And this can make for some pretty nasty sailing conditions, and many ships have been lost. Scientists discovered in 2012 that a nearby island, long established on maps, seems to have completely vanished. A whole island in 2012. Scientists discovered in 2000, I'm going to repeat this, discovered in 2012 that a nearby island, long established on maps and weather charts, seems to have completely vanished. There you go. And North Pole wilderness. It's always been known that things get a little wonky around the poles. And if you stand right on one, your compass will spin. But could there be something paranormal going on? Sanderson thought yes, and someone who might agree with him is Captain Sir John Franklin. In 1845, an expedition to the North Pole left from England in search of the North Pole. They never made it. All 129 men were lost, and no traces were found of them until over 150 years later. Of course, there was death, cold, and eventually cannibalism. Were they stopped in their tracks by weather or something more sinister? We may never know. The South Pole might harbor ancient civilizations. Antarctica has a population of around 4,000 people, most of whom are researchers. Even still, this abundance of scientific professionals and yet to yield any concrete explanations for some of the region's strange happenings. Now, they can't come up with anything. Some people still believe there are ancient civilizations hidden under the area around the South Pole, as evidenced by a mysterious rock formation that could be a pyramid. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. That is simply amazing. So these are, wow, that's crazy. Crazy. So, what do you think? All these places about the vile vortices, crazy. That they're all, evenly distanced. Just crazy stuff. So what do you think about Ivan T. Sanderson's work on this? They're all, is this coincidence? Is this planned out? We may never know. But I refuse, I'm sorry, I don't believe that they're caused by anything natural. Even with a rogue wave, you're going to find wreckage, whatever the case may be. In some instances, bodies will be washed up on shore or down the ways or whatever the current goes. But Dee is right. Too many explanations, not enough proof. Prove it isn't paranormal. Prove it isn't alien. Prove it isn't a portal, interdimensional portal. You can't prove it's not, obviously. Yes, there are some explanations, weather, whatever. But most of them, there are none. Nothing is found. No trace of wreckage, no oil spill, no bodies found, nothing, not a thing. So, what do y'all think of this? I really think, like I said, I believe they are interdimensional portals. Where they're going, I don't know. What was the movie where the pilot came back? Shoot, I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm sure y'all know. But is it UFO related? Is it alien related? Quite possibly. Lots of strange things going on inside. You've got the electronic fog. You've got the glowing water. You've got all this going on. It's too much. There's too many disappearances that have no explanation for it at all. Way too many for it not to be. So, what do y'all think about that? I don't know. Just strange, 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 right? We may never know the answers, not in our lifetime anyway. Maybe sometime down the road. What do you think about this Area 51 stampede? They're going to storm Area 51. Number one, you have announced where you're going to, what day you're going to do this. How many people have signed up? Whether half of them show up or whatever. Okay, so you really think something's going to be there that you already alerted them to what you're doing. They've already moved whatever is there. They had that new secret site in Utah. So you figure it out. It should be interesting, if nothing else. What do y'all think about that? Area 51. Storming Area 51. What do you think? Don't know. Nothing's there now. We know this. It's been moved. Whatever they had, it's moved. But can you imagine if they storm Area 51? That's trespassing on government property. So good luck with that. I don't know. They could all be fined or arrested. It should be interesting. I don't think they'll hurt anybody. I just really don't think that's going to happen. But it'd be interesting to find out in September what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see. Okay, I have a special shout out tonight to my night shift at Kroger's in Port Clinton. Love you guys. They're the best. And I'm going to miss you guys. Okay, so love you guys out there. Night shift, Kroger's, Port Clinton. That's Abby, Ryan, Lindsay, Nicole, Madison, Zach, all of yous out there. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, later on here, you're going to be in for a treat with the Jam with Ideas, Ike Dog. And that's a party all night long. Let's see what's going on this week. Of course, Fear's on tomorrow. Of course, Talking Dead is on after it tomorrow night. Yay, they're back. I'm so excited. And like I said, I was sick this past time, but I really kind of lost interest. Oh, it was. I know, Dee, I know. We'll see. We'll see what can be done. I know. I love them all. They're great. They're the best night shift ever. I love those guys. Love you all. Good. I'm glad. Cake out the butt today. Yeah. But anyway, Fear, this past episode, I was about done with it because we'll get into it Tuesday. I'm done with the storyline. That's gone on too long already. But anyhow, we'll discuss it then. Monday, don't forget Planet B, O.B, with Michelle and myself, Monday night. So stay tuned for that. Tuesday, Fear the Walking Dead. Thursday, DWD. You have any ideas? What do you want to hear on DWD? Let me know what you want to hear. What kind of music do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear? Featured artists, anything. Throw me some suggestions, guys, okay? Because I'm here to do what you're going to hear, okay? You can get a hold of me at KBLP LLC Facebook page. Message me with what you want to know, okay? You can also check out episodes of our group on KBLP LLC 4 on YouTube. So check it out. You can download it from Spreaker.com, however you want to do it. So listen on in. So shout out to Planet B.O.B. on Facebook, guys. Check the group out. They're really good. Check out Ecto and Encounters on Facebook. We have our own little space, so join Michelle and me on there. Trying to think. Oh, yeah. Survival Wolves. Shout out to them. Shout out to Conflict with Julie Kinney. It's a what if scenarios. They're really good, by the way. Really, really good. So, What else is going on? Oh, yeah, on Fridays, don't forget to check out our own Chris Stevens with Freaks in the Basement. And he's also a horror writer, author. Check out his ebook on Amazon.com, Fear of the Dark. If you're not afraid of the dark, you will be. So there you go. Check it out. Download it now. Go get it now. It's really, really good. So enjoy that. That's about it for tonight. Dee, I'm glad to see you on here. You're going to have to get on this discussion next Saturday on Ecto and Encounters. We're going back with Area 51, Mandela Effect. What do you think about the Mandela Effect? It's freaking crazy. My mind is blown by this stuff because I know it's been changed. It's absolutely nuts. So that's next Saturday on Ecto and Encounters with Michelle and myself. So again, shout out to my night shift at Kroger's. Love you guys very much. Thank you for everything. Okay, have a great night. Thanks for listening. Oh, I'll let you know, Dee. So let me know what you guys want to hear too on DWD, okay? All right, have a great night. Thanks for listening. Peace out, y'all.
I've been a prisoner here. The hour has come to break.
heartily welcome to Sick Weed and Broadway. Oh, what a show we have for you tonight. Restless souls will put on the dancing shoes. Mindless girls without our limbs to lose. Illusionist, contortionist, tightrope walkers tightening the noose.
Thank you. Kiitos.